What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bennett Easy, aka Benny Mannequin, coming to you live from the Mannequin studio. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 9 reasons to become an architect, or well, 9 reasons to study architecture in university. I know in my previous video I made, it kind of seemed like it's not the field to be. And actually, I'm responding to this comment in this video, where this user felt like the way I made the video made the field seem very discouraging. And he's a student. And my goal on this channel is not to demotivate or discourage anyone, but it's clearly to motivate people. So on different things. So with this video, I'm going to be giving you my 9 reasons why I feel like you should become an architect, as well as study architecture in school. So if you're interested in this kind of content, please stick around. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to number 1. So making the decision to pursue architecture is not easy. It's not easy at all. Often a lot of young students think they have to have some magical talent at drawing or have higher marks than every other person to apply at architecture school. But using my life, I never was the brightest kid in the class or someone that knows how to draw. Hell, I still don't know how to draw. So, but for that reason, I feel like you just should not think about architecture like that. It's not. First of all, let's have this word in mind. It's not that deep. It's literally not that deep. I feel like everything you would need is definitely taught at architecture school. So that's one big plus I loved about it. For me, moving from high school to college, I was not really enthusiastic about math, so I made sure to stick well away from anything that would have me doing a lot of math while in college. Anyways, my number 1 reason is, as an architect, you're able to unleash creativity. The most beautiful aspect of this field is how this industry embraces the individuality of each person. So every design you make always has something behind it, and that's one reason I love it so much, is because everything is put towards a concept. There's no straight line of doing something, which carries on into the school system where you're not necessarily graded based on a right or a wrong answer. It's more like you're graded on a thought process and the way you're able to execute that process. So that's one good thing about it. For my second reason is simply reward. Architects get to see the fruit of their labor, basically. So probably the most amazing thing about this field is that as an architect, you have the opportunity to create things that are going to stay in this world after you're gone. And that's an advantage not many fields have. In architecture, you get to design, go through the concept, which is your concept. There's no way anyone else can copy your concept, because there's literally no two concepts are the same. For the third one is that architects, I don't think there's really ever boredom in architecture school. Yes, architecture school is difficult. It is very tough, but I feel like with the fact that it's difficult, you get to understand that your studio time is studio time. So there's a difference between difficult work and boring work. So in architecture, you're doing mostly difficult work, but then it's fun work where there's all this research, there's all this, damn, I sound like a nerd, but honestly, no, it's not, that's not the case. But it's a lot of actual fun stuff, because most of the stuff you're putting on paper and you're designing is from your head. And if you're anything like me, that loves to create anything, I love creating anything. If you guys know, or you guys are on this channel, so you guys probably should know me. Unless you're new to the channel, then subscribe. But I love to create anything. I love to create a lot of things. So, and in the architectural field, it doesn't matter. As wide as you go in your thought process, as long as you can bring it down to an actual building, you'll be fine. For the fourth reason is because architects are specialists in everything. I'm going to use myself as an example. I studied architecture, went to architecture school, the whole 9, blah, blah. And then I do graphic design on the side. I make videos as well, which I bring to you guys. All that I feel like I learned through the tenacity of architecture, because in architecture, I feel like two fields that if you are able to survive through, you can definitely do anything in the world, is medicine, that's to be a doctor, and architecture. Because I feel like those two fields are the toughest of that there is. And I know there might be some engineers here that would try to create some sort of like, oh, engineering is hard because we're doing math. Yeah, that's fine. But have you been in a studio for 3 days straight? No, you have not. So that's different. Anyways, we're specialists at everything because we kind of have our hands in different places. The meaning of architecture is literally the master builder, meaning for you to be able to build a whole building, you have to understand every single piece of the building from stage A to stage Z, whatever stage. From the concept stage to the design, to the construction document, to actual construction, to handing over, to marketing, to sales, and yada yada yada. The whole nine, the list goes on. So for my fifth point, architects learn to be opinionated. So we learn to defend our opinions because that's, like I said, that's what architecture school is about. You're not wrong or right. There's no, oh, this is a answers page where it's like, oh, this is a wrong answer. So basically, if you think your design is cool and is the best way to go for the prompt, then you're gonna have to defend it come jury day. And this is probably the most stressful thing you will do. But as you move on, I feel like you'll be fine. I hope the person that commented that is like getting a bit more encouraged. This is the only thing that will always have me recommending architecture as a field to people. Even though you just don't want to design buildings, but I feel like it's a very good, it's like a decoy business school, something like that. But my sixth point is architects know how to manage stress. I feel like it's something that I learned in architecture school where there was so much bulky work that needed to be done. So there was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of deadlines having to be met and all that. So I feel like all the 5 years of doing that in school has definitely taught me to handle stress pretty well right now. I handle stress in a very good way right now where I just kind of push through and get things done because I always set a reward for myself at the end. So for example, if I know that I have a big, while I was at school, if I know I had a big project, I would always set like maybe a trip or like maybe food. I'll take myself out to dinner when I'm done with the crit. Right now in my work life, I do the same thing where like, okay, we're going through a deadline. I would always plan to at least travel once a month because that's like a typical, like each month it's a different stress. So every time there's like a very busy day at the office, it always ends with me traveling to somewhere nice. Well, now obviously pandemic and all that, but so we don't travel as much. But hey man, when we're allowed to travel, that whole process is gonna continue again. So another point, which could be sort of subjective, is architects get to do what they love for the rest of their life. Imagine you're a painter and you're able to just paint for the rest of your life and be paid for it. That's the same feeling with an architect. I feel like buildings are like our own art. So just designing buildings, watching them come up and just looking around and seeing this whole ecosystem you've designed, which is like a dope thing you can do. And you can get to choose your job because in architecture there's a vast variety of fields you can divert to. You can go into landscape architecture, you can go into residential architecture, go into commercial architecture, and you can just be in the management part of things where you're not actually designing. But like I said, you get to do what you love for the rest of your life, which is design buildings or manage buildings. Either one that like suits your fancy. For the eighth point, well, the eighth and the ninth point, I feel like the top point is we improve people's lives. We improve the quality of life. So you guys have known about the whole affordable housing issues. That problem is left on us as architects to fix. And I mean, so many architects have come up with different ways of fixing that problem. Right now, with the whole pandemic going on, a project that I'm personally working on is the restructuring of bathrooms. I started to think of new ways of designing bathrooms for public spaces. I'm going to explain that project a more in-depth video. If you want to know more about that, please comment down below and I'll bring that to you anyways. And for the final and ninth point is just being called an architect is a very romantic name. Let's be honest. So architects are held in high esteem. So like I said at some point in the video, architects are known as the master builder. Well, architecture is known as the mother of arts. So with all that nobility or nobriety, whatever language you want to put to that, with all that stuff pumped up into the name, it's a cool thing to be called an architect in my mind. And trust me, I've been to different places where people have asked me, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, I design buildings." And it's like, there's a whole different way people would look at you. And so yeah, it's definitely a field you will be proud of, and I don't think you will necessarily regret it as long as you position yourself in the right path you want to follow. Like I said, architecture is really a very fun field. Definitely not something that you have to be like the craziest artist in the world or like the smartest person. It does help if you're any of that in any, just like in any field, it'll help if you were smart, but it's not the all in all. As long as you can logically put spaces together and understand color and certain things like that, you'll be fine. Anyways, I hope this video helped some of the upcoming architecture students that have been following me lately. If you have more questions, feel free, hit me up on there as well as in the comment section. Leave a nice comment. Also leave your name, your country, where you're studying, what year you are in architecture as well. And let's connect. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.